Jessica Sabiston again with Empire Distributors. Happy to see you all and happy that you're participating in Aqua's first ever virtual tasting. I do have something to say a little bit of that I didn't mention in the beginning. This whole COVID-19 thing has really kind of brought me back to my passion of the industry. A lot of times in this crazy world we live in, we spend a lot of time checking boxes and making sure corporate's happy and making sure our customers are happy and making sure our employees are happy. And in the meantime, we lose sight of why we ever found this industry. And part of the reason why I love this industry so much is because I love to cook. I love great food and I love great wine, and I think this brings it right to your doorstep and you can enjoy it right in your kitchen without having to do any of those things. So the passion is there, and Jason's prepped out a great menu and I'm super pumped about it. So the second wine we're tasting tonight, or today, is the, for you day drinkers, cats and kittens, day drinking, the Chateau Ste. Michelle Mimi Chardonnay, brought to you by Chateau Ste. Michelle Wine Estates. It comes to us from Horse Heaven Hills, which is a smaller AVA of the Columbia Valley. This is just a lovely little sipper. Chardonnay that is brings you all the elegance of the oak, but it's lightly oaked. Touch 14% stainless steel, 86% French oak. Just so enjoyable. The most thing I can tell you about Chardonnay that I want to share with you is that a while back I did a wine dinner in New Bern, at a country club in New Bern, and I was on my 5th wine dinner, and I was having a hard time explaining Chardonnay and the body and how Chardonnay feels on the palate. And I explained it to my my crowd and their guests as pantyhose, different types of pantyhose. So I got crazy reviews that day. I sold a bunch of wine, but I got a lot of big faces when I said pantyhose. So today I'm going to equate it, Chardonnay, to like sheets on a bed. Chardonnay can be like cotton sheets, organic cotton sheets, which is like completely unoaked, maybe hung out on the line to dry, nice and crisp. It can also be like silk sheets on the palate, kind of enveloping, smooth, really silky on the palate, quite linear and acid. It can also feel like flannel sheets on the palate, like butter and cream and weight. So somewhere in the middle, this Chardonnay seems to satisfy all 3 types of palate. That either if you prefer an unoaked or you prefer a buttercream, this falls right in the middle. Just really kind of is versatile, doesn't overpower the food, gives it great body, great weight, and great texture, while still preserving the fruit and the character and the balance and the acidity in the wine. Wonderful little sipper, great to drink Chardonnay. I know a lot of people say, oh, poo-poo LaRue Chardonnay, it's not my choice. Honestly, if you blind tasted it, you might find that you, once again, can appreciate and enjoy Chardonnay for the deliciousness that it is. So, Chateau Ste. Michelle Mimi Chardonnay, 86% French oak, 84% French oak, and 16% stainless. It's also aged sur lie, so it imparts a creaminess, a weight, a texture that we really crave on the palate, especially with certain types of food. So quite nice, quite enjoyable, definitely a keeper. Great to serve to your neighbors, to your friends, while socially distancing, of course, but just delightful. Next, we're moving on to the Laurent Miguel Rosé. I love this rosé. So my little buddy, not my little buddy, my good friend Thomas Meunier is actually the importer of this wine. He lives in Carrboro, North Carolina, and he owns an importer. His importer is Authentique Vin, and this is just a great rosé for everyday drinking that doesn't break the bank, that you can open on a Wednesday and keep in the fridge till Friday, and she's still going to sit quite well in the glass. So a little bit about this rosé. It's 70% Cinsault and 30% Syrah. Completely unoaked and just lovely for summer. A lot of people don't understand rosé. A lot of people think rosé is sweet. A lot of people feel like rosé doesn't have a place at their table because it's pink. Mostly the boys. But I will tell you that this is the best lawnmower wine ever. So if you're a man who's just mowed the grass or done some outdoor chores and isn't quite ready for that big manly red yet, rosé is your white wine or your red wine lover's white wine of summer. It has all the body and all the fruit that you crave in a red, but it is crisp, dry, and refreshing in the glass. So a little bit about the producer, Laurent Miguel. He is an 8th generation winemaker. Perry and Phils, which is written on the bottle, means father and sons, since it's been passed down from generation to generation. This is 100% sustainable agriculture, really, really protecting the delicacy and the balance of Mother Nature. Also sees a little bit of the lees like the Mimi did, which imparts a little bit of a creaminess. It kind of takes off that edge, that jagged edge that sometimes we see in rosé. We're not quite sure why it's there, but this winemaker really goes the extra step to make sure that it is enjoyable on the palate, especially on the palate and while you're drinking it. So a little bit about this rosé: fresh, smooth texture. Strawberry rye or strawberry seed, a little bit of cherry, nice light salmon color, and completely unoaked. Goes great with any type of fare. Great for an aperitif. And let's face it, it's rosé all day. Rosé all day. But quite lovely and a great choice, and nice stove enclosure, so it'll lay down nicely in your wine fridge without any of that juice escaping that bottle right there. So. I hope you choose it to take it home. So the last wine that we have today is the Primarius Pinot Noir. What a fabulous wine. This is brought to us by our friends at Precept Brands. And Primarius is actually Latin for distinguished. And the days that I came along drinking Pinot Noir when I worked here at Aqua, Pinot Noir hadn't hit its stride yet. It was basically like the best kept secret in the wine industry. I guess we like to think until this movie Sideways came along and blew it off the map. But we were all secretly drinking a lot of Pinot Noir, and Oregon seems to be one of my top picks for where I like to see my Pinot come from. Although I'm not judgmental in that regard, because I love them all, and they show well from every region that they're grown in, mostly because they're really hard to grow. Pinot Noir is a very finicky grape. It can turn on a dime, and you have to really know what you're doing to be able to farm it correctly. So a little bit about the winemaker for Primarius. Her name is Sarah Cabot, and she is basically a BA. A badass. She has been in the wine industry for a very long time. She's an enologist. She used to work for Willa Kenzie and a few other big hitters in Oregon before she got hired with Precept. And she really knows what she's doing. She farms more Pinot Noir acreage than any other winemaker in Oregon. Her Primarius Pinot Noir, in particular this vintage, received 90 points Spectator, which I think is great accolades considering the price point. And Sarah is quite interesting. Sarah also plays defensive back and kicker for the Oregon Ravens, and a football team in Oregon. Can you believe that on her spare time? Crazy. But really, really crazy talent. Awesome chick. So when you're getting your Pinot Noir ready to drink, it's always great to throw it in the fridge maybe for 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, open it up, because you want to really drop it down in temperature to around 68 degrees maybe. It doesn't need to be as warm as your house is. Some people keep their thermostat on 75. I think that might be a little too warm to really show the right fruit profile. In fact, you'll probably get a lot more alcohol that way. So we don't really like that in the wine industry. We like to drop it down in temp just a little bit. But you want a nice bowl to really smell the nose on this wine. And you want to stick your nose in the glass and really swirl and break open those phenolics and really enjoy those beautiful aromatics, but lots of nice being cherry, tea, white tea, lots of red fruits in this, raspberry, but really nice and light bodied for the summer and for the heat. And perhaps one of my best wines for this time of year, because you can enjoy Pinot Noir with spicy dishes, with fish, with seafood, and it's not going to overpower it as maybe like our friend Cabernet would. But just excellent this time of year and a great choice to take home. Great with Jayson's food. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the food that Jayson is offering. So for the rosé pairing, he has the chocolate terrine with the peanut butter cream cheese frosting, toffee, and amaretto cherries. For the Sauvignon Blanc, we have bacon wrapped jalapenos with pimento cheese and strawberry balsamic reduction. It will also include a tomato tort duo. The Mimi Chardonnay is cast iron seared yellow-eyed snapper with couscous or quinoa blend, roasted vegetables, and a Peruvian pepper aioli. Jayson mentioned to me he got the snapper in today. He's got somebody out on a boat right now fishing. If that gentleman doesn't come back with snapper, the fresh catch might change to something else, but for right now it's snapper, and we'll let you know if that changes. And then the last course would be the primarius. That is paired with a braised beef cheek with bucatini and a roasted tomato veal sauce. So folks, you get your choice of 2 tapa and 2 small dishes, and you get 1 dessert and 2 bottles of wine for $100. If you'd like to throw in 2 more bottles of wine of your choice, whether you get 2 of these or 1 of these, then your price goes to $130. So we really hope you enjoyed the tasting, and we really hope you're taking advantage of a wonderful menu and pairing, and that you get to do it right into the privacy of your own home. And we're looking forward to doing more of these more often. And I just want to say thank you to Christy and to Jayson and the owners, Joey and Elena McClure